Potentially our ships. Hey, what's going on? How are you? I was talking to myself there. Did you notice that? I'm a crazy little boy, folks. Anyhow, up first, here's an interesting story. The missile defense weaponry is very, very low, supposedly at a critical point. Now, if Trump decides to continue this war, he's going to really be putting our ships, our planes, and our people and our bases over there at risk because their protection level is going to be quite low. I don't think he cares, but I don't think he understands that. I don't understand how we could, run out of missiles and stuff like that, but I do understand probably because we saw them because we're greedy. And that's just, I don't know. I just think it's a horrible situation for the troops over there because we can't win that war now. No, if we stay at war, there's no way we're going to win it without putting manpower on the ground and losing a lot of men. And that's just not something I think we should do because I don't think that country's worth it. Like I said, if you're going to fight the war, and I don't think you should do this because I don't believe these people deserve what's going to happen, but I would fight the war, and then I'd get rid of Trump. Trump has to go because this war is his fault. It's not Qatar, it's not Iran, it's not anybody's fault, but his and his ego. And now I'm reading that he's going to take Greenland one way or the other. If I was young enough, I'd go volunteer for Greenland. That's against the United States. That's just the way I feel about Trump and his attitude. I'm not young enough to do that. I couldn't stand the cold. I'd last about 10 minutes in that country and I'd be dead. It's disgusting. Trump is an imperialist. He's a idiot. He's a know-nothing, warmongering creep now, and it's just he has to be removed from office. And I hate to say that, but even Vance looks like he might be a little bit better anyhow for the world. And I'm talking about the world now, not just the United States. All right. A TikTok influencer recently, I think he was in, I forget where he was, Mexico or someplace, I think, was shot and killed on live while he was doing his show, while he was making a podcast, a live video. And it was in the Sinaloa region of Mexico. That's the infamous Sinaloa cartel. They have ex-U.S. military people, special forces, with an attitude that's unbelievable. They kill people and they don't care. Now, he's not the first person to be killed online over there, but he's very famous and a few 100,000 followers, and they all saw it, apparently. I don't believe that the shooter was seen, but, that just means you have to take into consideration that it's not safe to say whatever he was saying. I don't know if he was against the drug cartels, if he said something specifically or something like that, but I do know they shot and killed him. All right. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how well they can investigate that because it's in Sinaloa country. So, they're one of them infamous. Excuse me. They're an infamous cartel. There are others in the area, but they're one of that was the one that Chavez was running. All right. So now they're talking about prosecuting Dr. Fauci for contempt of Congress. Um, I think that if he was to tell the truth about some of the, I don't know any of the, I don't know one question that was asked of him, but if he was to get up there and explain what really happened, the government would fall apart. It would be an uprising. For or against, but there'd be an uprising. I think his smartest move was to take the fifth and try to stay out of it as much as possible. But, the Republicans are looking for scapegoats. They're looking for something to distract the American people from the fact that their groceries are too expensive, that they have a president who's an idiot, who has spent billions of dollars with absolutely no effect in Iran. He has, which tends to make me believe that the military leaders, which is, Hegseth's little boy group, haven't got a clue as how to fight a war, especially one of this caliber, against the people that are technically far below us. Just shows you how useless some of our weapons are. Okay, this is getting out of, dude, boy, I'm telling you, I'm getting myself really hot and bothered with some of this shit that's going on, and I'm getting depressed again. And it's the weekend coming, folks. Look at this. I'm getting a hole in my head here. See, no, actually, that is part of a scar from cancer removal, skin cancer removal. So, what can I tell you? Makes me look like I got a split skull, split personality. Nah, maybe I do. All right. Now, another Republican is dropping out of the race because his own party told him to quit because he's a scumbag. Now, he's not the first. I think there was one Democrat and 3 Republicans or something like that. I know the Republicans outnumber the Democrats considerably. I don't know why, but they're all a bunch of power-hungry assholes. They're trying to be like Trump. They all believe senators are starting to believe, and congressmen and whatnot are starting to, excuse me. Sorry about that. They're starting to believe that they're above the law, that they don't have to pay consequences. And it's not going well for them in that department. Now, he dropped out of the race for whatever it was, but whether he's going to stay in politics or not is another story. These guys all try to remake themselves and come back, because there are people that like what they do and, that receive, some sort of benefit from stuff he's done. And they kind of say, oh, well, so what? He beat his wife, or, he's getting a blowjob in the Oval Office. So what? See, that's a Democrat that did that. And he was forgiven and was rated his presidency was rated very highly, according, getting as far as getting things done and stuff like that. But he was a scumbag. And he still has a lot of influence. One man whose influence is only limited by the color of his skin, Obama, was this generation's honest man. They've been digging stuff up, trying to dig stuff up on him for 15 years now, and they can't find anything. They'll find something about his kids probably, because kids just aren't perfect. You can't keep controlling them. Sooner or later, they're going to do what they want to do. You have to let them go. That's just part of life. Trump's kids never get let go. They're under his thumb forever and ever and ever because he controls the money. They don't have any money, and he's not giving them any either. You know, but they have nothing without him. And the Republican Party being in control of the Oval Office, that without that, the Oval Office and the Senate, whatnot, the Trump family is going to go slowly. They won't go broke. I don't see billionaires going broke unless somebody steals their money or something. I really don't. I don't see how it's possible because they can't spend it that fast. You know, they can make some bad decisions that will cost them money. In Trump family case, they're going to lose a lot of money because a lot of the projects that they're involved in are going to get canceled once he's out of office. You know, I have another. This might seem like a dumb question, but you know, he's putting up all these supposedly golden statues around Washington D.C. Now, eventually, if they're real gold, they're going to start to get carved up by the criminal element, or they're going to get stolen. And because you can melt them down in a heartbeat, and once you get the facility to melt them down, you can do whatever you want with these things. But they're my question is, if they are real gold, where's this gold coming from, and who's paying for it? All right, somebody should maybe go take a look at Fort Knox. Maybe the bastard's stealing the gold out of Fort Knox and making golden statues. You know, that would not surprise me in the least with that fag. Oh, he's really pissing me off. He's so disgustingly crooked, and people think he's such a great president. I don't, you know, you don't like somebody for this difference of opinion, that's fine. But when you go out there and you like somebody that's an out and out corrupt individual who's proven it over and over and over again, who's been in court, and so what, because he walks away from a Teflon? Look, the Teflon Don in New York City finally got his, and he died in jail. You know, and I think that's where Trump belongs. I think he's guilty of treason. You know, I don't think that these other countries need intelligence services because he puts it in the news. He tells them what he's going to do. He forecasts it. You know, now, of course, the problem now is their biggest decisions now are deciphering what he's saying. Is it true, or is it just, bullshit? And then that's a problem. You know, Trump is just, you don't ever know what he's going to do or what he's going to say. Anyhow, this may not look like anything right now, but it's coming along better than I thought it would, and it's going to be a little guy. I have to get some alcohol or something someplace to soften the wood up. I'm having a lot of problems with the wood, and it's chipping and splitting. And my knives, trust me, you shave with my knives. They're very, very sharp, and I keep them that way. So it's not my knife's fault. It's the wood's problem. So I have to see what I can do, because it's all I can buy right now. Anyhow, that's it for me today. It's Thursday. One more day closer to Friday, folks. Hey, the NFL starts tonight. First preseason game in the NFL. I think what do they call it? Is it the Hall of Fame game? I'm not sure. I think they changed that title, but it's the first preseason games tonight. They don't mean anything. Pretty much nobody really plays hard or plays in them. Because if you get hurt now, it costs you a lot of money. So a lot of them don't like to play these games. But anyhow, so I'll start watching that stuff tonight. and we'll see what's going on. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow's Friday. I know, who cares? Anyhow, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.